I know there's a lot of these on YouTube, so I'm going to try and keep this one short because some of them are bloody long. I've got all my kit here for CCC. I'll show you quickly. All laid out. There's a few extra little bits to go in. I'll just put a few notes left. I'll put a few notes down there on the video, that the things I haven't picked up yet, just little things. I haven't got my GPX. I haven't got my watch yet, which I'm borrowing off someone, but that's not a mandatory thing. But it is nice to track your progress, I guess. I won't be looking at it. I'll only be looking at the time while I'm doing it. So I'll just start with everything, sort of starting from the innermost sanctum of the pack. I'll show you the pack first. This is the Solomon Advanced Skin 12. I got this recently, fairly recently. I've tried it out a few times and it's really good. And this is a game changer, this quiver. I've tried loads of different solutions for my poles, and this is the best one I've had so far. I've done it where I've had them across my back like that, and they've just bounced. I've tried to put them in the back of the pack and they're just like stabbing me in the back. This is the best solution so far, so I'd recommend getting one of these. They're quite hard to get hold of, but I managed to get one sent to me recently, and yeah, I've done like 2 long runs in it, and I've got a slight issue maybe around the shoulder blade, a little bit of rubbing, but I think I might put some K-tape on my shoulder. That is assuming I don't use the poles, and for this race I've got a feeling I will be using the poles, so it might not even be an issue there. But it's good to tape up where you get any rubbing, either before or as soon as you find out it's happening. So we're starting there. The first thing that's going to go in the back of this bag is my sort of emergency kit stuff. This is like the bottommost kit stuff. It's like emergency stuff only, really. This is it's got my mandatory long trousers, my mandatory second warm layer. It's got batteries for the head torch in there. It's got a bivy bag in there. They say it says on the website you should use a, what do they call it, emergency blanket or emergency cape or something, with a minimum of dimensions on it. It sounds like they mean bivy bag, so I'm taking a bivy bag. I've got a bivy bag, I'm taking a bivy bag. I don't think a silver cape is going to cut it on the emergency kit list, so I'm taking that. It's quite busy in here, and alongside that I've got some sun cream, which I'll put on first, and then if I need to reapply, that can go in. Got my battery. It's a bit of a brick. It's a bit of a shame I don't have anything smaller than this, but this is going to keep my phone charged, which you're meant to do as well in the race. And it's going to recharge another head torch that has a USB port on it, which I can do that as well. So that could be useful. I've got batteries as well, but that is there just in case. I've also got my Mac in a Sack trousers. So these are my waterproof trousers, but inside here I've managed to stuff a few extra bits, like my head torches are safely in here, and I've locked both of them so they don't turn on accidentally, because I do that all the time. And in there I'll have my gloves. I just found one glove. There's the other glove. So one pair of warm gloves. Right, I've already lost something. So these were in here, but I'm going to put them in with the other gloves because it's waterproof stuff. So all the waterproof stuff can go together. I'm going to familiarize myself even more with this kit as I make this video and after I make this video. Probably going to write it all down on my phone and revise while I'm sitting on a plane or transport or whatever, where I'm going. So I'll put everything back in there quickly. First aid kit. I've got a first aid kit here, full of KT tape strips. I'm going to have plenty of these on me. I think there's a minimum of 2 meters or 1 meter or something of these, but I'm going to take way more than that, because these are really useful. I know that I'm going to rub somewhere that I'm not expecting. I'm going to try and tape up before, like across my back, above my bum where my waistband is, maybe on my shoulders and my collarbone, just because the pack tends to rub a bit, even if I'm wearing 2 layers of stuff. Obviously my nipples as well, but I've also got this extra tape. This is rock climbing tape, and it just rips off really easily, which is useful for like things like, I'd imagine, having not that much experience with the poles, I might have to tape up my fingers. I'm not going to start with, but if they do start rubbing, I'm going to do that. Water, I'm simply bringing 2 Salomon soft flasks. In event of hot weather, with the hot weather kit gets activated, I'm just going to bring 4 of these. I've got 4 of these. I was going to bring a bladder, but I think 4 available soft flasks is much better. So I'll do that. In the event of cold weather, I've got a woolly hat. In the event of cold weather, quite a heavy set one, quite a nice one. Got a lighter woolly hat for if the cold weather isn't activated, because I think at night time it's going to get cold anyway. In the sun or in normal, I'm probably going to be wearing this hat the whole time, mainly to keep the sun out of my eyes. I've obviously got sunglasses too. There we go, got sunglasses too. And I'm going to keep an abundance of buffs ready. I'm going to have 3 or 4 maybe, just on my person. They're very useful. They can tie things. You can get them wet and get your head and neck wet and stuff like that. Really useful for that sort of thing. Mandatory cup. I'll keep that handy in the pack as well. And I've got my Harrier poles, which I've got a little bit better at putting it up and down, and I've just pinched my finger. But I'm getting a lot better at putting these away. I'm definitely going to be using these a lot. I know I am. So I better get used to them. I don't mind. I've used them. I've done about 300 miles with poles maybe so far in training, but I prefer not to use them. But as long as they keep me upright, I'm happy to use them. So I'm gonna have a go at putting all this together. Right, I hope you can see that. I'm going to start with this Salomon belt. It's like a skin belt. A lot of people put their poles in these, but I just found they just bounce so much. So I'm actually not going to put anything in this. I'm just going to wear it, and it's going to be there for me if there's anything I need to get out. So for instance, if I need to get a load of food out of my backpack, it can become handy. Or if I'm having problem with my medikit, and I can put my medikit in there if I'm constantly trying to get the same thing over and over again if I have a problem. So this is like a backup layer thing to put in first. So what I'm going to do now is try and get all this. This is so heavy, man. This is so heavy. But this pack is bloody great. It seems to be able to fit loads of stuff in there. I've got some wet wipes as well. They're going to go in. Some emergency food just to stuff it out there a bit. In case of cold weather, that's got to go in as well. So I'm going to try and squeeze that in. People do this with a 5 litre pack. I'm not really sure how they do it. This is my #1 waterproof, the Innovate Storm Shell. I don't think, it's nice and warm. It's windproof, it's waterproof, but it's still in constant British weather. If it's rainy and cold, it's still coming in. So this is going to be my first choice for good weather. In the event of bad weather, I'm going to go for a more heavy set waterproof. This is another Innovate Storm Shell, but it's just a bit thicker. So that's going to go easily accessible in the top pocket here. Nice and accessible there. I really hope I don't have to use this one. I do prefer that one. Let's put the poles in. I'm gonna try and put the poles in whilst wearing the pack, because I'm gonna have to learn how to do that. So I've got my poles here, and these things were flapping around when I was running the other day. So I figured a good solution to that would be spare buff around the handles, and it also keeps them together a bit better. Makes it easier to get them in. So I've got to become quite dexterous with my got to be quite dexterous with my shoulders. That's been loosened up a bit. Let's try again. Still tough. it might be preferable to take the pack off, to put them back on. It might save more time to actually take the pack off. Luckily, putting the pack on and taking the pack off. Are they in? Are they in? Hey, you're in. And then there's a thing to loosen up there. Okay, solved it, brilliant. So what have we got left to put in? I've got example bottle, number 1. I'll put the cup in here. I'm gonna have my phone on me, which I'll probably put in one of these. And then on top of all that, there's gonna be food, plenty of food, which I'm just gonna stuff in the front. I'm gonna try and just keep plenty of food. Plenty of food on me for each leg. So there we go. Not jumping around too much, tighten this about. Tighten that bit. I've got the poles ready to go. I've got everything else ready to go. I'm ready to go. One more thing. These are the shoes I'm gonna wear. Hoka Speed Goats, Hoka Speed Goat 5s. Just got these, there's my second pair of Hoka Speed Goats. Got on with them pretty well. I'm quite happy with the toe box, and they're just pretty comfy shoes. I'm not expecting anything too technical on the CCC. Hopefully it's dry. If it's not dry, these will still be able to take care of whatever's in store for me. So one more time, I'm going to try and take these poles out. There we go, there's the poles. Poles in, and I'll put them away again. So there was a toggle on the back. I'll loosen that toggle. Grab the quiver. Now, to be honest, even if getting them in and out of there requires me to take the backpack off, in terms of running with them, it's still much better. It's still much better than having them bouncing up and down. So there's my kit for CCC by UTMB. I'm sure there's plenty of comments to be had on this, but I'm going into this knowing that this is my first CCC by UTMB, and I'm bound to make a few mistakes, but there's definitely plenty of opportunity for me to rearrange things while I'm on the go. In terms of heat, full head and neck cover is required. I've simply got plenty of buffs to make sure my head and neck is completely covered. So I'm going for that technique. I was looking at Saharan caps. I think even in a heat wave, I think I prefer to just keep my head wet as much as I can, and I do that by maybe carrying extra water and like dousing myself with it. 2 litres of water for me personally is probably enough to keep me going. The camera is coming with me as well. I'm going to keep that on the front, I think. Probably no stick because I've just got so much stuff and I'm quite anxious about carrying too much stuff, so I think the race is priority for me, not making a cinematic masterpiece, but you will be coming with me and there'll be a few check-ins along the way. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you, let's see how we get on with this, eh? Bye.